Hi, thanks for choosing this video to watch. In this one I'm going to be talking about the Timbre Wolf, and as you see I've built a case for this one, and if you haven't seen the video where I built the case for this, I'll put a link right up here in the corner. In that video you'll notice that I had made two cases, and one was sort of, in my mind I was just practicing, but in the end I had two cases and one synthesizer, and I guess I was just kidding myself to think that I wasn't gonna buy another synthesizer. And here it is 6 months later, and I did find another Timbre Wolf, because that's the only one that'll fit in the case, and it was inexpensive, so I just bought it, and there's a few problems with it. That's what this video is about. I'm going to be taking it apart and showing you what's on the inside and fixing the problem and putting it back together, playing it for you. Although there's one thing I wanted to mention. All the things, I mean, the only reason why I even attempted to open this thing is because of Marcus Fuller. I've been watching his videos for a while, and everything I found in here are in his videos, and there's a link right up here to his videos, which you should go see, and there's also a link in the description. So you should really look at his stuff, because he knows much more about it than I am. I'm just discovering what's on the inside of this for the first time, and he knows all the right words and knows where everything is. So with that, we'll go figure out what's in here. Into this one. This one's fine. See? That's an F. The F on this one works. Here's the Timbre Wolf. It's new to me. I bought it used for cheap. I saw that there wasn't any obvious problems with it, but when I looked at it closely, I could see that it's kind of scuffed up, and there's been stuff taped to it, I guess. But the big problem is this key kind of doesn't work. Start it. So the sequencer receives the note information, but it doesn't play it. I don't know why. So I'm going to open it up. What's the worst that could happen? Because I already have one. This is going to be my play one. So let's turn it on. Turn it off and unplug it and take it all apart. See what happens. That's cool. There's the Timbre Wolf upside down. And it's pretty clean in there. Got a little bit of schmutz. Some hair. But it's not too cruddy, actually. Ew! Ooh! Ugh. What is that? What is that? Somebody's hair and some fibers. So, that's what the underside of a Timbre Wolf looks like. Can we see inside? interesting spots where somebody smeared something. Looks like some components used to rest there. There too. Gonk, gonk, gonk. So each of these is the oscillator. And here are, these are the button banks. And that thing there, that's the back side of the record button, that's the play button. So there's the controller for all that stuff. There's a little quartz crystal. Yep. It's an electronic device. So, I should have put a tape or something on the one that is not working. But I have a feeling, I think it's this one. So. These two things push down on that little gray nubbin, and that's basically just a button which connects to this ribbon cable, and the ribbon cable goes up there and into there and makes Timbre Wolf howl. What I didn't show was that on the bottom there are screw holes that are holding in this key bed, and I didn't want to unscrew them first because I just didn't know how this was all put together. But to get to this, I had to unscrew this from the bottom. And for your information, that's what the bottom of a key bed looks like. These are just diodes, and you can tell they're called diodes because they're just a little D right there. So, take a look at this key here. Yeah, it comes right out. More hair. And there's that little button. I'm assuming that I just need to scrub that out with some scrubbing stuff. And that'll take care of the latency problem. Oh, I don't know if you can see this, but I just took out the F key. Isn't that funny? So this, I bet, is connected to one of these switches. I bet that's what they call a switch. So it turns out I did need to remove those, and looks like each one of these does correspond somehow to these switches. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how gooey and flexible these are? Just a little piece of silicone, and it's punched through about around there. So, let's see what happens. Oh, they're all together. They look like they're segments, but they're So the little carbon thingamajiggers rest between these two pads, And when it's pressed down, it makes the connection and then sends a signal to the analog circuit up here, which directs the signal to whichever oscillator is turned on. If they're all turned on, then they all play a sound. All right, so my understanding of velocity on a keyboard like this is that these little carbon dots are just a hair's breadth away from each other. Maybe you can see how the top one up here, I'll use my pointer. This one is set just a little bit higher than this one. See that little ring there? You can focus on it. It's just a bit thicker than this ring. And when we look at the top side, you can see they're different. So what happens is this one rests here between these two pads. This one rests here between these two pads. When you strike the key, this one touches first because it's nearer to the pad. And this one touches just a microsecond later. And the faster or harder, with the more force you press with the key, shortens the period of time between this one touching and that one touching. And I assume there's an integrated circuit up there that reads those microseconds and interprets those as volume for us, so that the quicker the time between these two strikes, the louder the volume. So softer touches on the keys translate to slower times between this button touching and that button touching, and that's measured here. You can see how this pad is connected down and this pad is connected up. The same thing with these two. Let's see if I can get a good shadow. These two are connected to two different. See, this one's connected up here, and this one's connected, looks like, to a bus they're all connected to. There is a logic to it that I haven't figured out yet, but that's what happened. And I was expecting to see some kind of goop on the bottom of these that prevented the button from pushing back up or something. And I haven't seen anything. There's just nothing there. I did give it a little swipe just to see maybe something was on there, but I'm not going to do anything else. Put it back together, see what happens. Okay, so got it sort of loosely fitting on there. I just want to make sure that it works before I... Okay, lights are on, numbers are going. Oh, turn on the magnifier. Hey! That rattle. Oh, that's just me. That's just... Alright, the moment of truth. Aha! The Cylon and the numbers. Aha! Oh, I forgot the thing I did. there's just something missing. And I know you're thinking it's the cheeks, but I don't know. I don't know. It just needs something else. Yes, that's what it needs. It needs that. Yeah. With a drawer too. Woo-hoo. And a wolf on the side. Oh, yo, yo. There's a wolf there. Look. And there's a wolf there. Those are brass wolves. Oh, yeah. And look, there's more. There's more wolves. There's wolves all over this thing. Wolf and wolf. And there's another wolf. I made those wolves.